I got to talk about these defense, especially that young boy, Thrizzle.
Yeah. How about that, dude?
Uh-huh.
How about that? That was pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, bring him out there, show him that they weren't messing around with
Mm-hmm.
physicality, or we weren't messing around with physicality. We weren't gonna let him run on us like it was last time, and
Nope.
that's what Mark Rob. Like even though he might
Mm-hmm.
not be perfect fundamentally or anything, you saw it right off the bat. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to make a tackle.
That's the thing with him, man. You coach up the execution part of it. You can coach up the X's and O's stuff, but you don't have to coach his desire to make a play. That's the one thing that I love about 93. That's one of the reasons why even when I rock with 41, it's just like, yo, I don't want to.
He was really good too.
Yeah, I don't want to ever have to question your desire to make a play. If it's athletic ability, that's one thing. But, like, I don't want to ever feel like you're turning it down. I don't want to ever feel like you're shying away from contact. And 93, bro, when he plays with his hair on fire. Like, my man is coming downhill, hitting whoever he sees in the face as hard as he can. There's times where I'm like, bro, I'm thinking he's going to put himself to sleep. But I'm like, yo, I just love that mentality because that is Steelers football. But more importantly, take the Steelers label off of it as a linebacker. That's how you play linebacker, bro. Like, you have to be aggressive. You have to want to hit people. Like, that's the thing we always laugh. Oh, man, you're such a nice person. It's like, man, I like to hit people. Like, in my mind, I want to hit everybody. You just learn self-control. But that's the beauty of playing linebacker. You really get to just go hit people. Put my face on your face until your
Legal
eyes
violence.
blink. Like, I want your eyes to not open back up for a little bit. But then after that, go home, kiss your wife and kids and your mom, all that. I ain't trying to kill you. But that's the mindset. And it's just good to see that 93 plays with that, bro. Like, from the start of this thing, man, it wasn't perfect, but first off, bro, shout out to the old 61 Bear front. They was like, yo, we're going to just give you 1-on-1 mark. You're ISOing on this backer or on JK. Just mirror this dude. We're going to keep all these gaps clean. I love that right there, man. But I do think that 93 has a natural nose for the ball. When you watch him play, he reads the pullers really naturally, and I think that's because of his running back background. But it's not just that he's reading it, it's how he arrives. He arrives with bad intentions. He arrives with violence. And I think it's only a matter of time before he mentally catches up to all of the other stuff, because that's the only thing that's going to be realistically keeping him off the field. When you talk about why they would play him over 55 last night, athletically, Mark isn't far off. Mark is in that conversation. That's been the big difference with Spillane. He doesn't have the same tools athletically as a Devin Bush, but Mark has some of those gifts. And I think what Mark might be lacking in terms of overall like top end speed that Devin has, I think that Mark makes it up in effort because of how hard he plays. And for me, man, I just think, man, with a full offseason where this dude can actually get a chance to really learn and grow and build upon this, I think that he could be a good player for us, man, because you're seeing it. You're seeing it in stadium, and it's not preseason. This is regular season now.
This is against the Ravens.
You see what I mean? Like preseason, preseason still counts. I'm not going to discredit preseason, but we understand like how we look at it in terms of the context. But this is the Baltimore Ravens in January with playoffs on the line for both teams, and he wasn't out there in the fourth quarter. He was out there to start that thing out. It wasn't no, hey man, we got injuries. Miles Jack ended up going down, but before Miles Jack went down, 93 was in the conversation. The rotation was 41, 51, 93. 55 was kind of like I said, the one that wasn't getting those opportunities.
Like he only had 5 snaps.
Yeah, up until when Miles got hurt. That's when 55 started to come on. But that speaks volumes to their level of confidence in 93. And it speaks volumes to his preparation. Because they're not, Coach Tom, I know Coach Tom. He's not putting no dude out there in January if they haven't been doing stuff like that throughout the season in practice. They haven't been making plays in practice. They haven't been being physical, checking off all those boxes because he knows the stakes are too high at this point in the season. So for him to even do that to where he has a defined package for him, because that's what it was a package for Mark. It's like, man, to see that, it's like, all right, that's step one. That's how you build a plan. Remember, me and TJ, we always joke about it, right? Hey, man, first they hit you with this a package. Hey, we not benching you. We got a specific position group for him.
Yeah.
And they started playing that package. We saw 93 a lot. We saw 93 even more so yesterday than we did the first couple of times that we've seen him out there.
Panthers game.
And it keeps expanding. That's how it all starts. That's how they hit you. Just watch foreshadowing. But with 93, though, man, like I just think that, like I said, for him, full off season, man, where he can really get this X's and O's coverage part, because playing next to Spillane helps him. But if he can get mentally worse playing is already at, like, man, I think that he could be a really good linebacker for us, bro. Because you see what he plays with, man. You saw it last night, man. We ain't making nothing up. And that's my thing. We saw it in the preseason, and it was like, okay, this is dope, but it's preseason. Can you do a regular season? We're seeing it in the stadium now. We're seeing it in critical moments, man. So you know how I feel. When I see it in stadium, that's when I believe it. I don't want to hear about the fairy tales or the, hey, man, I believe, just because. It's like, nah, that's not how I operate. Everybody's different, but I'm a guy that needs to just see it. And when I can see it, now I can believe in it, man. And like I said, with 93, man, he's definitely showing me some stuff.